Good afternoon and welcome to the instructional video for this 2020 Chausson C656. I'm going to walk you around the outside and then we'll move on to the inside of the vehicle. So it's based on the 2.3 120 brake horse. It's got the manually folding mirrors that do electrically operate both bottom and top mirrors from the inside. We've got the plug-in point for the fresh water just there, and inside here we've got your technical locker. Now you'll see that there are two indications on here. One is for the drain for the fresh water, which is underneath, and this is just on this tap here. So all you do is you turn the lever to empty it and turn the lever to close it, and that is your fresh water drain. So turn the white lever to empty it and then the white lever to close, and that is to drain your fresh water, and that can be found directly underneath the sticker on there in the technical area. In the technical area you'll find that you've got your filler point. There is a little lever on here to tell you about the maximum and minimum levels. Would always tell you to run it to the maximum unless you're traveling, but that's just that little lever control just there. And then on the left hand side of it is all the electrical items, so charger, fuses, and then your main test point here for your RCD. So if you're ever wondering if power's getting to the vehicle, you'll just press that button and you'll see that it'll just flick it down if you are connected up to mains, like we are now for the video purpose, and it is working correctly. It should flick down. If you was to press that and nothing happened, then you would need to check your mains cable is plugged in correctly, and then whatever the opposite end is connected to. So there are some little diagrams on here explaining that for you, and they're just underneath here. There is one key that will lock both of those points on the vehicle for you as well. Going back of that, we've got an awning light, so that turns on from the control panel inside. We've got your habitation door, which manually locks. Then just in front of it, with another symbol here that tells us where our wastewater drain is there. So there's a handle, simply pulls towards you to empty the wastewater, and that's any water that goes down your sink or your shower, and then push it back in to close it. So you'd have it closed when you're on site, unless you're on a super pitch and you've got a grid lined up for the waste to go directly down to it, and then you just open it as and when you go to empty the grey water. So back of that we've got a locker. Now when these are out, they're open. You would just simply twist them both at the top and the bottom and then open that up. And in here we've got the bottom storage area here with tie downs, a little indication of what weight you can put in there. And then we've got the lift up mattress. So what will happen is that will lift to the back, and then the wooden section will lift to the front, and I'll just show you what that looks like when it's fully formed. So when it's up, you'll see that these little bands will hook on to the little metal clips at the top to hold that mattress back. And then on either side you'll see these little turnbuckles. So there's two for here and then one to hold up that back piece there. And then that will give you a full height garage area for your belongings with a door on either side. When you're closing it, you lock it, just twist them back, and then again utilising the keys, just push the key in and then gently push it in. When it's flush like that, it's locked. When it's out like that, it is open. Yeah, and there's one, you get two keys as well. We've also in that rear area got windows, sliding one at the bottom and opening one at the back. Provisions for bike racks already made with the vehicle just there. And then on the opposite side we've got a smaller locker area here, again using the same twist lock ideas. That will give you access into that area. In here you will find the main pack with all your belongings, and then the vehicle is also supplied with a tyre inflation kit from new. In here you've got a vent for the heating as well, so you can circulate the heating into that area if you've got anything that needs drying. Forward of that we've got the toilet cassette, so you just pinch it together, and again that's utilising the same key. You then lift it up like so, lift it out. You've got a little spout that turns around and you just unscrew the top cap, lift it up to empty it, and you've got a little flush button there which lets all the air escape. So press that at the same time as emptying it and it will come up nice and easy. You've got a handle and wheels on there, and then once it's pushed in, it should click into the little handle there. You've got plenty of storage for your toilet chemicals in here as well. but that will only pull out when your blade is in the right position, which I'll come on to later in the video. Lock it back through and then you're ready to go. We've got fridge vent covers on the outside there, and then we've got your water heater control. So you need to remove this cover when you're trying to use it on gas. On electric it'll be fine, but to remove it you just lift it up and the cover will come off. If you don't remove it when it's on gas, then it'll just build up with gas, and after about 10 or 15 seconds you'll see warning lights on the control panel for your heating control for your hot water. So just bear that in mind. That is for your hot water. Forward of that we've got our gas. So in here it will take a 6 or an 11 kilogram bottle. You've got the regulator there, and you'll need to get a pigtail to connect to the gas bottle that you're wanting to run. So again, either butane or propane, but we generally will recommend that you use propane on that. Forward of that we've got the diesel filler point, so you just use the normal Fiat key to put that in. So that's either the main remote control key or the backup blade key. That will open it up and allow you to put diesel in, clearly marked, and the bottom button is for your AdBlue. The dash has a warning to tell you that AdBlue is needed, so that's where you would fill it up when you're needed to do that. In here we've got a bonnet release catch, we've got a passenger airbag, we've got a glove box, and then under the carpet area here is where you will find the engine battery is located there. So I'll show you where the jump points are underneath, but if you ever need to get to the battery, it is located underneath there. Yeah, and that's where that's located. So to get under the bonnet, you'll just come above the Chausson badge, lift it up, and you'll see there's a little yellow lever there. So we've got our negative point just marked up there, and then lower down here under a little cover is where you will see your positive point. We have got oil and dipstick, and then screen wash to the left hand side. Okay, when closing it, just gently close it down like so. So that's the outside of the vehicle done. Let's move on inside and have a look how we operate things in there. So to open the door, just pinch the door. And again on here we've got a blind, and we've got a full height flat screen, just like so. So you'll see the bottom bunks up there. Yep. Obviously if it's folded down you would have access to that as well. Through there you've got your top bunk there with your ladders that just hook onto here. Yeah. And that will give you access up to there. On the ladders themselves they've got little hooks on the top. But if we just move that across, so we'll just twist to put them on and then twist up. That's so if you put weight on it they won't come off. But we've got our own roof light up there. Now there is a little lock button in the corner, so make sure that that's unlocked before you do it. And we've got a little light which turns on and off just here. Flash screen and blind that's in the windows, I'll show you how that works. And we've got a little bit of storage above up there for you, whoever's up there. The main control panel can be found to the side of the door, and I'm going to start this from the very beginning. So with all the actual controls off. First thing we want to do is we want to put power into it, so we'll press the little green light. The next option, we want to put the 12 volt on. So this will allow us to turn the lights on, allow us to use the pump and such items like that. So these two must be on. Now I know people will be saying, well, what if they're bright in the night and someone's in this top bed? So what we can do is this bottom button here, we can press and hold it, and we can dim it down so it doesn't disturb anyone in the night time. During the day, press it back on and it will brighten up again. You'll also see that there's a little indicator to tell us that we're plugged into mains, so that's our first point of checking. Have we got mains power to the vehicle? The pump, press that on, and it will run the water within the system. Try not to do it if you haven't got any water in there, because it does damage the pump. And then the next one is our awning light. So main power, 12 volt, which you'll need these two on majority of the time. Pump, when you want to put the pump on, make sure you filled up with fresh water before you do this, and you prime it through your boiler, which I'll come to in a minute. And then your awning light. Below, we've got voltage in the habitation battery, voltage in the engine battery, water level, and again the dimming of it. Now above it is your heating controls, because your heating and your hot water is separate. To the left is your thermostat, to the right is your main control. So to turn it on, you turn the dial round. You'll see that it'll go green in the middle. Yeah, it'll take about 5 or 10 seconds to start kicking in, but you will see your lights dimming when it starts kicking in. Totally normal, so don't be put off by that. If you want to turn the heat up, then you turn the dial round. If you want to turn the heat down, you turn it back. It is really as simple as that. If you don't want the heating off, then turn it off. Okay? Now you can use that in transit. It does take a feed from your diesel tank. So my advice, if it starts getting cold, is turn it on 10 or 15 minutes before you get to the campsite. Just pull over in a safe location, turn it on, then it'll be warm for when you get to the campsite. So pretty straightforward really, guys. Couple of light switches. So this is your entrance light. We've got your bathroom light just in there. And into the bathroom here, we've got another opening roof light. So again, simply winds up and it will open up and turns back to open down. We've got a towel rail just on there, and then we've got a large shower area. When you pull in the water through the system, it is advisable to pull it through on all taps. So you'll see there's a hot and a cold. Just turn it to the hot, yeah, and when you turn your pump on, the water will come through there. On this one, it's marked just on the front, so turn it towards the actual back wall. Pull the water through the system, because what it'll do then is it'll pull it through that boiler. Yeah. Now, you've got the little hook on here just to hold it in place for transit. And then when you're not using it, it's just simply out. And then you have got a large showering area and cubicle area if I take a step back. Just like so. When you are in transit, just pull that back and secure it in just with the little loop just there. And again, on this side, you've got a little loop just to hold it in place there. We've got a little press button for your storage. Make sure these are all pressed in. We've got fly screens and blinds, so you can have them set whichever way you want. And obviously the bathroom one is a tinted window. To open it, you press the button in, press it in there, and then gently up, all the way up to come all the way back down. So be careful opening them near a wall or something like that. Underneath we've got storage, and the one that always, the light for that bathroom, sorry, is just in here, not on the outer wall. Yeah, so that little rocker switch there will turn off that light in that area. So I mentioned about the toilet. Here we've got a flush button and an indicator to tell us that it is full. The flush button will only work when the pump is running. Okay, so just bear that in mind. And the blade valve, so the valve to remove the toilet cassette is at the front. You'd also need to operate this when you're using the toilet. So at the minute it's closed. If we pull it towards the front of the vehicle, it will open the flap up. So you generally do whatever you want to do in the toilet. Put the flush on. When you're finished, close the flap. Yeah? So open it when you're using it, close it when you're not. And it's got to be in that closed position when you want to remove the toilet cassette out of the vehicle. So bear that one in mind, guys. Okay. The door itself just closes. Nice and neat there. And this light button here does get light above the dining area. Okay. So we've got a little light underneath here that turns on and off. So bear that in mind. And we've got two little switches that turn off the low level marker lights and the light there. So the furthest one to the wall turns off that bright illumination, and the other one are the little blue night lights for moving around the vehicle. The cooker, we've got two gas and one electric. So the electric one is here. It will light up when it's on electric, and we'll stay lit when it's hot for a while until it cools down. So just be careful, and please heed the notice here about closing the lid. Let it cool down before you do that, or it will just shatter, guys. So top one, front one. For the top, you've got an igniter here to ignite it, and then below it you've got your oven and grill. Right is for your grill. Turn it to the middle is in the off position, and turn it to the left here, and that will do that position there. Underneath we've got a storage area here with a lift up little storage, so you can put items on there. And to the left hand side, again using the push buttons, we've got another storage area. There is an isolation valve. does tell you in the right position. As you look at it now, it is in the correct position. So you shouldn't need to touch them unless you're advised to do so by someone that is a gas expert. Cutlery drawer just under here. So soft close, when it pushes in, just press the button, and a main socket there for your mains electric. Again, will only work when you are plugged into mains. It won't work when you're not. Behind, we've got the fridge. So to turn the fridge on, press and hold the button and it will illuminate up. So the fridge itself has 4 main functions. We've got automatic, which it automatically seeks for you. Press it and that will go to manual electric. Press it again, it will go to battery. Now the battery will only work when the engine is running. So bear in mind, it will not work when the engine's stopped. Yeah, only work when it's running. Press it again and it will go on gas. Again, gas has got to be on the vehicle and turned on for the gas to work. Most people would use it in the automatic and you'll see straight away it's gone to mains electric. The button to the right is how hot or cold you want it to be. So you decide. And again, to open it, we just pull the lever towards the toilet and it will open up. You'll see that it is illuminated. We've got the freezer compartment at the top and then the fridge compartment low down. When you're turning it off, press and hold it. The display will go out and also the lights underneath will go out. Above that, opening it up, we've got a storage area there. Points up here if you do want to install TVs or TV brackets. Another storage area high up where the solar panel has been fitted, and that is your regulator to let you know that it is working and charge is going in. There's also a 12-volt plug up there as well for you. And then below that, we've got your wardrobe area, just there, with another little storage area below, and then another storage area just underneath there. So plenty of places to put your belongings for you. Along the top of the vehicle, we've got opening locks, and these simply just pinch and open up. So when you go back, they'll click and they'll give you storage there. These are lit little storage areas if you want to put bits above as well. So that works all the way along the vehicle in the same way. Yeah. Under here, you've got a little light. So that will just press on by the end. So the nearest to the kitchen, and that will light up that area just there. And again, similar sort of idea, just on here, nearest to the kitchen, it will just light up like so. Again, storage above all these for all your belongings to go. To get access up to the bed area, you'll hook the ladders onto here. This will give us access up onto here. We've got some thermal screens. We've got an infill cushion, which I'll show you where to go in a minute. Again, another opening vent and a roof vent, and your makeup cushions for below. A couple of light switches just on here, little black rocker switches, which will turn off the lights for that area, and a bit of storage in there for you. But a large double bed above. Now, making up the lower bed, there's a few different options available. The left hand side one, you can use the 3 cushions just as a single bed. Yeah, and I'll show you how to fold the table after. On this side, you've got a double bed, or you have got these extension pieces. If you don't want to extend it, then simply just remove that one. This slide cushion will go back in, and then remove that one along with the base, and I'll show you how to fit that base of that seat on it. So you simply would have it just the 2 areas just here. So your double bed, give you more length, you'll just remove the back cushions. And then on this side, we've just got your single bed option should you want it. Yeah. Now I'm going to deconstruct both of these so that you can see how they operate and how they work. So the first step would be remove the cushions. You'll see that the travelling seat belt is just there. So that's your 7th travelling seat belt. Under here is where you will find some of your heater pipes. So put things on top, but be careful to put things underneath. And then you've got your table. Your table simply lifts up, and you'll see that it has got a hinge leg. So on the leg itself, you just open that up, and then that literally will then click into the top and act as your table back there. Underneath this seat here is where you will find your boiler. So that is your water boiler. Yeah. There's a little fuse to the left hand side, so if you're not getting anything working, if I zoom just in there, you'll see there's a little yellow 20 amp fuse just there. In front of it, and this is very important, in this separate section here, there is a drain valve, and this drain valve can be located just here. Now at the minute, in the up position as it is, it will be draining water from your fresh water tank straight through your boiler and out underneath. So you must remember to put that down. That allows you to fill up your boiler. Now once you've put that down and you've filled up your fresh water, you turn your pump on and you've turned the tap to hot, it will pull it through the boiler, through that system here, and fill up the boiler. Once it's full, and you normally know that this is done by the fact that you've got a steady stream of water, you can then go to your heater controls and select the right options, which I'll come to once I've displayed this bed model. So that little valve down there, just hidden behind the pipe, has got to be in the horizontal position to be used. It doesn't matter if it's going back as it is or forward, and vertical to empty. Yeah. And that's found underneath there. We would advise you to drain this down, certainly in the winter, but again in the summer if you're not using it for any length of time. To build that area back, we just put our cushions back, and I'll show you now. And then we're back like so. Can't really go wrong because this one is shaped to go around the actual supports, and that's where your rear facing person would sit on there. So let's do the same on the other side. So just removing the cushions, you'll have your table. You need to lift your table up then and do the same thing like you've done on this one and unhinge it to go on the top rail. So we've removed it. Here we have a little slider section that slides in to give you the height, and then it sits there. And there we have your table all set up. We do have a little extender piece here, which if you swivel that round, will then give you a full table area all across the vehicle. You've got multiple people in. And then on here, we've got a little extension piece that will come across. We've got our base section, which will just lock in place here. So it sits in either side and it will just go over. And then the two cushions. The bottom cushion is notched, so you'll know, and it will line up just along there. And then finally, last but not least, is your back cushion support, which again has a little cutout to go around in that area, but that will allow you then to have a full area there for everybody to enjoy the comfort of the van. Okay, so let's move on to the boiler controls. So your boiler controls, quite difficult to show you on the camera, but it's located behind the seat, just down here. Yeah. Now on this I will show you when you come and have a look around. But the top bit here is the gas side of it. Say quite difficult, but let's get in the right position. So on here you've got a 50, a 0 and a 60. And it's a three-way switch basically. You move it up to a position that you want. And that's if you want to run the hot water heating on gas. Yeah, if you want to run it on electric, then below you've got a 1 kilo. Think of it the same way. Top is 50, middle is off, and bottom is 70 degrees. Yeah, so the bottom one of the two is electric, the top one of the two is gas. I will show you when you come to collect it because it's quite awkward and might be a bit difficult to understand. But electric, gas, three-way switch, up, off and down. Always leaving in when there's no water in the middle position. Gas and electric, again, 70, off and 50. Yeah, and always leave them when you've used it in that off position just there. Into the cab area, you've got the curtains to screen off the area. We've got your air conditioning, we've got your lock button, 6-speed manual gearbox, we've got cruise control and speed limiter just there, your electric window switches, your mirror switches I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and your wipers just on there. Your lights can be found on the top stalk just there. And here we've got a nice little holder, which you can put sat navs or phones in there. Pull the little lever down to the side, that will open it up, press it in to lock it in place. Past driver airbags just in there as well. And then that completes our instructional video. All you need to remember to do is on your way out from leaving the vehicle, turn off your green light, that will turn everything off, just like so. And then you'll be able to go on to your new adventures. Well, thank you for watching our video. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But more importantly, we hope you enjoy your new motorhome. Thanks for watching.